All right. Well, thank you guys. So we will just start off by talking about moving mad, right? So I would love to know, Ronu, when I say moving mad, has there been a time in your life where you're like, just fuck it, like I'm just gonna go for it? Like,
I mean, going back into music right now, I've been DJing and producing since I was like 14, so it's already been like
damn.
18 years.
Whoa.
And yeah, when I was like 22, 23, I played like 30 shows in a year. I used to work at Webster Hall, Space Ibiza, Stage 48, played like a burner show.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of like techno parties,
Yeah.
warehouse, Brooklyn stuff, and then went corporate, did that for like 8 years because I'm just like, all right, gotta afford life and stuff like that.
Very real.
The place I was working at closed down a few months ago, and it was like, that's like a good fucking moment. It's like, I can take care of myself now, and it's like a good time to jump back into things. And I've been going full force into music, and
oh, that's awesome.
yeah, just completely focused on this.
Wow. So I guess kind of walk me back to the time, right? You said that you've been doing music since you were 14. Who were some of your initial early inspirations? Like, who did you turn to in the music world to be like, I want to be that guy, that gal?
It's kind of just like the friends I grew up around. Like
really?
one of my
They
friends,
inspired you.
he goes by Graham Green. He's a dubstep DJ. He's pretty big right now, and like he's the one who taught me how to mix. And then one of my best friends since we were 8 years old, he's a really great producer, and he taught me everything I know.
So you just grew up with people. You're like,
so
what was it? Describe the squad. Like, you guys were 14. Whose basement were you guys in? Like, where was all the magic happening?
It's just like hanging out, smoking weed in the corner.
At 14? Cut it out.
Yeah, just friends and just surrounding ourselves with music. Yeah, I guess dubstep was a start.
Yeah, that is so interesting to me because in my head, like I grew up and you grew up in Jersey, or
yeah, I was born here and grew up in Jersey.
Okay, so like for me, I'm from Atlanta, so like the music I was listening to at 14 was Migos. Like Migos had just came into the scene. 14 to like 17 was like that prime trap music, Young Thug, like that was the era I grew up in. So it's so funny to like think about like now me in house music, but I'm like, damn, dubstep at 14, I don't think I would have been able to do it.
For me, I remember the first CD I ever bought at like Borders was Daft Punk. So I guess that was the beginning of everything for me when I was a kid. And then like, just like that SoundCloud culture. It's just like underground bass music and just following that.
That's so funny. Your SoundCloud culture was different from the South. Like the SoundCloud culture in the South was like, yo, listen to my mixtape,
Passing it out.
Or like I remember being like 16 and like going on dates and the guy would be like driving me home and he's like, hey, let me play my SoundCloud, and I'm like, oh, not another SoundCloud. Me right now. No, I was like, that is me right now. I kid you not. Like it is kind of a full circle moment now that I think about it because everybody I meet, I'm like, hey, listen to my mixes.
Well, that's why I drive. So like everyone in my car is just listening to my stuff. I don't got a choice.
So you're that guy at the party where everyone's like, I'm controlling the aux if there's no CDJ.
If I got a chance, I usually have like my PA in my car. So
I'm screaming. You're always ready. You scare you. Wow. So I guess my question is to you, like, what does since you've been in music for so long and went back to it, like, how would you describe your relationship to it? Like, what does music do for you?
It never really stops. Music is the way. Okay, for me personally, music is how I tell time.
I love that because for me it's rhythm. I'm able to like go back into my little flow. So what's that relationship to time?
So like what I'm listening to and when. Okay, I'm really bad at like remembering names of songs and the artists, and I have to be incredibly organized like a librarian to keep it all together. So like when I'm listening to songs I was listening to at a particular time, it just throws me back.
Yeah, so nostalgia. Like I love it. It's like a memory bank for you. It kind of transports you back to a specific time and place.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you the type of person, though, that will go out seeking for that experience? Or are you the type where, like, you're just shuffling and then that song automatically transports you back?
Well, I go back and listen to my playlists just to, like, bring people back to, like, let other people time travel. But for me, I'm always listening to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Because SoundCloud culture is literally, like, the Wild West.
Tell me about it. Like, I'm so curious because as a person who, like, I get immediate, like, ugh, when I give people my SoundCloud, they're like, are we really going back there? And I'm like, guys, it's there.
If it hits, it hits.
It does. It does hit.
So, like, right now, I would say two big genres happening on SoundCloud right now are Miami bass.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
And I listen to a lot of GQOM. Have you ever?
No.
It's called GQOM.
No,
like that. It's out of South
add
Africa.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
South
that's amazing because I've been trying to put together more Afro tech. Like, just been trying to listen more into that. Would you say that that's close or is that slightly separate?
Okay, so I like Afro music a lot because it has an instrument called the log drum.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the log drum? So basically you have the 808 and trap music and stuff. That's a sub-bass melody carrying instrument.
Yep.
So you're able to have something on the bottom to ride, and then now you have a log drum that does the same effect.
Oh,
so you can put a melody
at
the bottom.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So, okay, Miami bass. What is anything else that's really popping off there? I guess what would you give advice to someone who wants to start putting their music out there? Because you also produce.
Yeah, I personally just like mass produce and put it all out on SoundCloud. And so when I stopped working and started focusing fully on music, I spent the first 2 months like just making mixes. I made like a day's worth of mixes in like a month or two.
That's crazy.
I have like
How many mixes are on your SoundCloud right now?
I have like at least 30.
I'm out here thinking like, damn, I got 10 max. But they also came after a crash out, so that's different.
But I have like a few I call them my mixtapes. I have like months worth of other people's mixes. The stuff I listened to that taught me how to mix.
In that time when you were making it, where do you what's your starting point? You know, where you get that inspiration? What's that first track? The vibe that you're setting?
It's kind of something I've been working on like since I was a kid. So I'm kind of like going back and doing all the things I've wanted to do.
Oh,
it's all just been like in my head, and I'm just like putting it all together now.
Okay, so like walk us through like a process of how you would create your next set.
I do a lot of stuff focused purely on genres. Like I do a lot of Baile Funk, Jersey Club, Afro House.
Yeah.
And so I like to organize it like that, or like for more personal kinds of parties, I kind of put it all together and just play the biggest bangers of the bangers. And you have to kind of go through hundreds, thousands of songs and even though you love everything, you gotta keep getting rid of the fluff and like get the best of the best until you're...
So your thing is focused on, so when you go into, let's say a party and you're mixing, yours is, I want to keep the people hyped the whole time. So that's your focus. You're just like
drop after drop after drop.
You're just like nonstop, again. Yeah. I love that.
So like when I've listened to so many mixes on SoundCloud, and it's kind of like telling a story.
Yep.
Like when I'm at parties, a lot of people try to like do too much. I feel like try to do too many effects, too many cuts and stuff like that. But like out of all the mixes I've listened to, it's kind of like telling a story. You kind of just take the highlights, like a good minute and a half of the song, and then keep it going. You cannot play a song for 4 minutes.
Write the list out of like what it is, because there's too many bells and whistles that it just cuts the flow for me.
Where do we meet? Silo?
Yeah.
So like over there, we got 12 minutes, and I know a bunch of people are playing like 3 songs in 12 minutes, and it's like, you don't have enough time.
No.
I try to play 12 songs, 14. Like I try to make it happen. You have no time to just fluff about.
Yeah, and it's just like, in my head, I'm like, I look back and I'm like, damn, we on the same track. But like, I think that's the thing that I loved the most, especially kind of getting back into the music scene. So I picked up DJing back in 2020, and it really helped me during a dark time. Like I was very depressed, and of course the world was shut down, and I was miserable at my job, and so that was the only thing where I felt like really seen in. But life happened, and I ended up dropping it, but I picked it back up again because of depression. So last year,
That's great.
I know, right? I was like, not a third time, bitch. Not a third time. I learned my lesson. But what it was last year I committed to creating a set once, or like a mix at least once a month, because to me music is something as like, it's so interesting for you where it takes you back in time. It drops me in my present moment situation. I think I typically stay in my head a lot, or I'm always kind of concocting my next move, or I'm just daydreaming. I just love being in my head, and so usually whenever I'm feeling something or anything, I know exactly what playlist to play. I know what track to hit. Or if I'm doing something and I'm going out and about, I always create a new playlist every month. And I use that playlist to then build the mix. So it's kind of just like the songs that pulled me out of whatever I was in, because they must have been that good to have caught my attention. And so that's usually how I build my sets. But I genuinely I only pick one song first. And when I pick that first song, I just hit record and I just say, fuck it, let's see where this goes. And it's been beautiful because I think it's helped me. I don't listen, and it comes in as like a way of being faster on my feet, on my toes and stuff. So it's helpful, but at the same time, I think it does it surface in a way where it tells the story for me. So once I listen back to it, I can see the ups and the downs and the lyrics, because a lot of my music is very like lyric based. And it's just so beautiful because, like, I'll show you some of them, but like some of them are like very fiery. Like I'm pissed, so I'm like, damn, you was going through it that month. But some of them was very like romantic, lovey-dovey. Life is amazing, you know. And so I'm very curious when it comes to kind of how you curate each one. Outside of like tracks and stuff, let's say you have a big show. How do you go about that? Like, is it that you see who the scene is, the vibe, or is it anything related to you and how you want to kind of showcase your energy?
I kind of do both. So like I played like a techno party and I had to do a lot of research because techno is not necessarily my forte.
Yeah.
And for that, like I came up with a great set, but at the same time, I feel like I play my best when I'm doing my own type of thing. So I wouldn't want to betray myself.
That's very, very real. So tell me more about that, because I think that's something that we all have kind of that debate of like, you know, are you playing for you or are you playing for the people? And I have always been the type, no fucking request. Sorry. No request.
Always have a silence.
Bad Bunny. I swear to God, if I hear Bad Bunny one more time.
I got Bad Bunny remixes.
They're like, can you play Bad Bunny? I was like, I got Latin House. That's all I got for you. But I play for me in a sense, sure. Right? Because if I enjoy the songs, I know you guys will enjoy the songs. And I'm not going to play something that's, of course, not appropriate for the venue. I'm not going to go to a baby shower and drop techno, right? But I think at the same time, the comfortability has to be there. And I also have to be familiar with the tracks, like kind of be able to feel it.
That's the whole point of a DJ. You're the one who has to guide the party, guide the vibe, and then everyone wants to take control of it. But it kind of throws everything off.
Yeah, so do you have any tips for new DJs, any aspiring DJs who really just want to start going out and booking their first few shows? Like, I know I was nervous as fuck, and I just had the shivers, and the shakes, and I forgot a cable. Actually, it was a really bad story. I forgot my cable, I forgot my headphones. It was a hot mess. But any tips for them?
I feel like people have to do a lot more research than they think. I think like just going in, playing what you want. Is like you have to like know what the venue's like, what people like to listen to there, kind of cater to them while also representing yourself, not abandoning yourself. So for me personally, like my main style is like remixes. So everything I play is like you're gonna know it, but it's gonna be a version of it you've never heard before.
Wait, facts. That's literally what I always say about mine. It's exactly that. Like it's a lot of like early 90s or like 90s, early 2000s, but you think you know what the remix is gonna be, but then you hear it, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so it's nostalgia, and then you hear the story from a different lens, and like the words kind of stick out more. So like with production, I feel like a lot of people like have a beat down, and then someone throws lyrics on top of it. But then when you do a remix, you shape the whole song around the lyrics, and then it's like a fitted suit. It just fits way better. It comes out way better sonically. SoundCloud culture is a lot about like quality in space. They do a lot of spatial things that you don't really hear in like radio music.
Explain that a bit more.
Like panning and like where sounds are coming from.
So you're able to add that through the studio element of it?
Yeah, I personally use FL Studios, and these are all things that like I personally listen for, and to like if I can hear where a sound is like the directional sounds, like that's very important to me. A lot of people like listen to things right out of their phone speaker. So like people don't really cater to that.
That's a really good point. Any other like tips production wise that I personally may have not considered, but others might not either? Like I just record mine and say goodbye, and I just upload it, but I don't add any kind of sauce to it, really.
Are you talking about mixes or production?
Mixes and with the productions too, I definitely need to go see a sound engineer, but that's a separate thing. For
production, like I personally love lots of foley, like little elements that are spatial and not like necessarily music. It's a little amusical, so things that are kind of just thrown in and create texture.
To like add more room, like
Make it more human and alive. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So now that you kind of have this, not I wouldn't say like second chance back in music, but I guess if you think back to 14 to 22, right, where you're really in music, what is something that you are carrying with you in this chapter now, and what's something that you want to do better of?
I have all of my playlists. Like I was super organized, and it's really nice.
Organized back in the day.
Yeah, so like with SoundCloud culture, with like remixing, it's like kind of illegal. So like over time, everything gets taken down, and you kind of have to be a purveyor of these things. You have to like keep the culture alive because it's gonna disappear, and if you don't download it or save it or buy it, it's gonna go away. Now
that you're doing it now, do you feel that you want to stick more into the mixing DJing element, or are you interested in venturing more into the production world?
I think in this game, in this time and age, you kind of have to do a little bit of everything.
You do.
You have to be a producer, you have to be a content creator, you have to make little clips and sell yourself a little bit. It has you can't be a purist. You kind of have to be a generalist and like try to branch out into everything if you actually want to make it in this.
I love that you're very in the community. So I
think that's been the biggest thing. The last few months, I've kind of just been shaking hands, kissing babies type of vibe.
No,
that kind of like works the best, like from like grassroots, actually meeting people and building your own communities. You can't like, the only way to have community is to be a part of it. So you kind of have to be there, be a part of it. People have to know your face and what you're about. Yeah. What's something that you love about the community that you're currently in right now? I feel like it's amazing. Thank you for adding me to the group chat. Yeah. So that's just all DJs. So everyone there is like super into it. I love the all group about chat. The music. We need a name for it though. Well, you know? Someone called it NYC DJs, but to me it's not about just NYC. Like I want to add all my fucking I'm sorry, all my you can curse. All my producers, all my favorite DJs. Like it's just getting bigger and bigger, and then everyone's tossing their parties, and it's a great way to like get things out there and know what's happening. Like for me, I'm always watching what's happening, and I have a space to just spam everything I see, and I'm like, okay, there's a party going here. No, and I love that, and I love that you do that as well. And I think you hit on that big part where it's like, I think community requires participation, right? It's not just a empty vessel where people can just pop in and expect the same kind of treatment or get in what you get out.
Exactly.
Or get out what you get in. Yeah.
Exactly. I would love to know like what community means for you in terms of music. Is it more of a like, I think to my own self, where my music journey has always been very solo. Like, me making beats, very much a solo thing. Me making a mix, solo. And now I'm slowly getting out there and talking to people, but it's still a very personal relationship. I don't think I could have ever done any of this by myself. And like having mentors, having people who are better than me, try to surround myself with people who are better than me. It's like a fast track to getting there for sure. Like I could spend time learning how to produce by myself, but it's way better watching my friend do it. He's like, he can whip out a song in 10 minutes, and it's beautiful to see. That's amazing. So are you more of a person you learn by experiencing and seeing? Do. I love it. No, I feel like I'm the type where I'm like, I need to go to my room and I need to put it together and then I can go back out. You've been in the scene for almost 18 years. Yeah. From the point of when you were young to where it is. I was a kid outside though. I was exactly. He was outside. When was I going outside? Like 16? That's crazy. It's still early. I was like, is your parents going to watch this? We can say a different date. No, but like 14 is when I was like making music. Like I started with like choir as a kid, so it was a good background. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah. See that? Like I love that. Like I wish my parents let me do that. I really wanted to be. No, I mean I grew up they didn't let me. Yeah, they didn't let me. I understand what you mean. Like I wasn't allowed to do anything either, but it's just like at some point you have to like take control of your life. Yeah, but I couldn't take control of it because they were feeding me, and as soon as I left, I said I can do whatever I want now. But like, you gotta be a little rebellious. Oh no, that's what moving man is. 100%. It's just being rebellious. But I hear more about this. Yeah, so basically, I really wanted to do choir, but my parents didn't want me to sing, and so they were like, "You have to do band instead." So I was like, "Fuck." What'd you do? The clarinet. Okay, cool. But then I really wanted to play the saxophone. Yeah, I played alto sax. Yeah, it just in my school, it was like you had to compete. Because there was only 3 saxophone slots because everybody wanted to do it. I came in as 4th chair, and I was like, man. So if one of them had said that they didn't want to be the saxophone or play the saxophone, then I would have been able to, but they didn't. So then I became Squidward. So
yeah, clarinet's not bad either.
It's not.
Level woodwind.
I was first church, just to believe. I was like, even if I didn't want to do it, I'm still gonna be number one on it. But yeah, I mean, I was so curious because even 14, 16, right? Like how you were engaged in the music scene and what you saw kind of in those interactions versus the music scene now. What are your vibes? Like, what has shifted? What do you want to come back? Or
it's very much become a popularity contest.
Ew.
It's about how many followers you have.
Yes.
It's about how many people you could bring to a party versus like how good your music is or anything like that.
Yeah, fuck that.
And if you look at festivals, you see that everyone's like hiring the same DJs, and it's because like a few major corporations own and run everything.
Yep.
So this is the commercialization and the dehumanization of the most intimate human things about ourselves.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And what was it? There's like 3-4 major.
I'd have to pull it up, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, and I saw that.
We see each other's like.
I was pissed as fuck. I was like, wait, and then I like again, it makes sense because that's how it has been, just not in music alone, but business at business, scaling, all creative industries, right? It's the conglomerates. It's the 2 to 3 big boys that have their hands in everything. And then they come and they'll extract the few selected stars. Yeah. And then that's where we get constructed thinking that it's a competition. When in reality, they already had these bitches lined up. Uh-huh. They fed these bitches the marketing money, the things that they needed to get them the popularity. Like, I think they're just keeping us in a rat race of chasing clout and of just saying, hey, well, so-and-so was able to bring in all these people, and look how many numbers they have, when in reality, they had the backing before that, you know? Team. They have a whole team that's able to do it. People who are independent musicians, artists, us, we have a full-time job.
For sure.
You know? Like, this is something we do because we're passionate about, and it is another full-time job. And it makes me annoyed because there shouldn't be this competition within our own group, you know? At the end of the day.
It's a scarcity mindset. Like, there's a lot out there for all of us, and yet, I don't know, if you stay in the box, you're going to get trapped in the box. You got to look outside of the box. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I hate when people try to show me music and it's something I've already heard, or it's like the most mainstream thing. Yes. And I'm just like, really, just like, every time I'm outside, my favorite DJs are the ones who are showing me something I've never heard before. Yeah. I love something new, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, again, I just got heated about that because I'm just like, oh my God. When it comes to music, and again, because it's so deeply personal to me, it's my way of making sense of what's happening in here. And then to see those that, you know, these venues or individuals who like promote just for the sake of getting clout. And I'm like, when did we lose it? You know, you've been in the game for a while. When was it? Was it the rise of Instagram? Like what?
Somewhere along the way, yeah, with Instagram. I feel like it's a much like more recent thing. I remember back in the day, you didn't even know who was playing. You would just like go somewhere, and that's where you learned who was who. Yeah. And now you kind of just like get fed whatever they're trying to feed you versus like chasing who you love or finding artists that like really speak to you.
You know, it's really interesting that you say that because I'm putting together an event series. It's called Evening Praise because the coffee shop is called Morning Grace. Uh-huh. You see that? You see that? But where I've been trying to figure out a way in which we can have more conversations that facilitate the sharing of this music, not just, you know, our electronic music, but like other genres. Because I find that especially when it comes from a production perspective, I actually love pulling influence from genres outside of electronic music. Especially surprisingly like rock,
okay, cool,
jazz, folk music. There's something about a guitar, a bass, something about it's very interesting, the little plucks that I get from them. But I'm very curious, like, how do you kind of suggest people to go out of their normal comfort zone, right? Like, we get fed the algorithm on Spotify. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to go
right, like where are we gonna? For me, it always starts with me at somebody's mix, and I'm like Shazam,
yeah.
And then when I say Shazam, I'm like, let's hit the radio, let's see what else is there. But like, what's your process?
I listen to so many mixes, and then that's where I'll find a song I never heard before, and then you kind of have to look at people's track lists and stuff. It's really about digging. If you care enough, you have to like get in the trenches and actually see what's out there. Yeah.
Wow. And so I guess if I sit back here and I say, tell me the vision that you have for yourself in 10 years, what is it that you want? Like within music, what are we thinking? We trying to manifest? Let's manifest.
Festivals sound nice, like big parties. I just want to have like the stuff that I really care about and listen to. I'd love for that to get out versus like everyone really like listening to the same stuff. We have to change that.
Yeah.
Because there's so much out there. So all of my favorite artists, the biggest and best artists I ever heard and listened to, they're basically unknown, and that can't. Yeah. We can't let that happen. Well, how do you?
I would love let's problem solve, right? Like, you know, if you think that the issue that you said, right, was that people have to go digging for it, right? And so have you, outside of the mixes that you create where it's like, hey bitches, here you go, I did it for you. It's like, how could we have a platform where it's music discovery, but not necessarily individual mixes, but tracks where maybe someone could submit a mix that then populate, but maybe it could be like a newsletter.
Or like a radio show or something like that.
I love radio.
Yeah. So like having mixes fed to, like everyone's just getting fed. People don't want to take the effort. Even with Spotify, like people are listening to other people's like playlists and stuff like that. And Spotify doesn't even have what's really out there.
That's crazy.
Like SoundCloud is where everything is at. And also Bandcamp if you want like FLAC files, the better quality stuff.
Interesting. But yeah, honestly, I really like this newsletter idea. Hold on. I'm cooking in this mind of mine. You could send me the top mixes and I could send it over to folks.
That's what I was saying. My mixtapes. I have months worth of music.
Mixtapes. Yeah. Amazing. So I guess in general, right? Like, how do you kind of balance everything with your day job? Because you said that you're a trader.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? Yeah.
I was dating one of the senior product managers at BlackRock, and she kind of like put me on. I kind of just like listened to everything she said, everything she wanted to do, and I was like, all right, let me try some of that.
Wait, so walk us through that, if you don't mind. Like, so was it more like you guys were? What was the idea? Like, she
just worked at BlackRock, and she was a very smart woman, and she had a lot to say, and I was just like taking notes, and she's like, invest in ETFs. And I'm like, okay, I started investing in ETFs, and then I was like, all right, I have a little backing now. I can like gamble a little bit.
Hey, safely, smartly, strategically.
I put it all on the line.
No,
I would not be where I am if I didn't put it all on the line every day. I'm a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, no, I love that. So right now, from a passion, life drive perspective, it's music.
For sure, because like I can afford to do these things now. Like I think a lot of my friends, I'm seeing all of my friends are in the same position where they're not working their job and they're taking this time to like focus. Because like you said, it's a full-time job, but I'm a little more cushioned so I can take the time to do these things, you know? I would never want to be a starving artist. Like, I've tried that as a kid. At least I lived at home, so it's just like, okay, at least I have a roof over my head. But, like, you can't really chase your passions if you don't even know where your next meal is coming from or where you're going to live or anything like that.
I mean, facts.
It's a scary place to be.
Yeah, but I guess this is where I'm at, right? And I think this is a really good conversation to have because I feel like it's very quite like the lady that was here before is also kind of in that same boat where she's in between jobs as well. And she was like, I'd rather give this the shot now, you know? Sure. And I think that's something that I've had my business now for 2.5 years and it's just had its ups and downs. Usually around the fall is always when it's like a make it or break it time for me. And for the last 2 falls that I was doing my business, I broke it. It was not good. But I wouldn't say that. The first time, it was bad. The second time, which was last year, was when I genuinely was saying, like, I need to get it together. Because, so I'm a creative strategist. Okay, so with my work, I'm a creative strategist. I dub it as a brand strategist. But in essence, it's creatives who come to me when they are in a transition, when they are trying to kind of understand where they are at operationally from a business perspective, like what they have going on. So I help kind of clean shop and organize while we talk about what their next plan is. I help them understand what that vision is. I help them understand not just from a strategic perspective how we're going to get there, but also a well-being and personal perspective. I think a lot of people skip that part. And I think it's one of the most critical things because you want to be able to feel comfortable to hold the life that you want to call in, right? Like you can't up level and say, I want all of this, but then your nervous system gets freaked out when you have to send emails, you know, or like when you have to be in front of a camera. And so the best way I describe it is that like I'm hand holding, like we're cleaning it up while I'm helping them get to the, like I'm taking the stairs up with them. And then once they're kind of on that next platform, then I'm like, okay, you're good to go. And then they're like, no. And this is when all of them crash out. So that's another reason where I'm like, oh, I love the work. But that's where now I've had to kind of take a step back and realize that a lot of that work became a little bit too dependent on me being there.
For sure. I feel like that's like every kind of business these days. Even like medicine, they don't want to heal you. They just want you healed enough that you keep coming back.
Yeah.
So like,
and that's not the goal of my work, right?
Sure.
And so it's just the flip side of that, where like the goal of my work is I gave you the tools, I documented your process of growth, right? Like there's not a lot of people that can say I documented all of your self-sabotaging tendencies, your mental loops and how to get out of them, the rituals that you need to ground yourself. Like I literally give them a kit, you know, just to like get back on the horse if they fall off. And so like that's something that I've loved doing, and I think again it's also on me. I'm not gonna fully blame it on them, but I think there's an element in which, you know, I don't make it clear that there's a handoff point.
Oh yeah, like maybe growth is not what a lot of people are looking for. Maybe a lot of people want to play the victim so they can stay where they are. I find this a thing. Like everyone wants to stay in their comfort zone and kind of just self-sabotage so they could just end up right back where they are, and then they can just use it as an excuse because everyone wants to be in their comfort zone for the most part.
Fuck that, actually. I
don't know that way.
No, and I think that like no, thank you for saying that, and I think that really did click something in me for like why it's always a very hard time to hand it off to people or kind of be like, okay, we're done, guys. Because I think there's an element of, you know, it's perceived growth and not actualized growth. They're not fully embodied in that version of them. They're just showing up to the calls every week. Yeah. You know, and I think that's a really good call out. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize that healing and growth can happen at the same time, right? Like I know for a fact that when I'm ready to grow and change and do the thing, I'm going to always heal that 5% of whatever loop or self-sabotaging tendency I'm in, because that's the only way that I'm able, in motion is how I catch shit, you know? I can't sit all the time and journal about my feelings. Sure. I have to go out there and have to fall, right? And I think that's the part that people don't want to do because they're embarrassed or they're scared or...
Is this systemic? Is this coming from us? Is this coming from society? Like we're just talking about like capitalism. Yeah. It's like how capitalism runs. It's like we don't want you to get off the horse.
Yeah, like, I mean, they don't... Not the horse, the fucking wheel, bro. But the wheel.
Stay in the nest. Like literally. If you stay here, we can profit off of you. And then this kind of brainwashes us into thinking this is how it goes versus like moving on, growing up. Going to the next step.
That's the thing where I think that's what I was saying with the whole money and serving artists thing. That's where we could break the loop. You know, I think for me, when I think about it, it's this conditioning that they've placed us in. It's a this or a that. And so I feel like, yes, capitalism for sure has pushed us in a way where we feel uncomfortable taking a step into a direction because we know what may potentially happen. But it's always, again, you having to bet on yourself.
I think times is crazy though right now. There was a time where you could be an artist and could sustain yourself and such like that, but I don't know if that's the time right now. Like we're living in hard times and it's like to be an artist you kind of have to pay towards your art versus expect it to feed you.
Oh, 1,000%. Sure. If you go in with that mindset, I feel like that's kind of where I think you were talking about it earlier. Like you can't just be a musician or a DJ or an art. Like, you know, I think it's you are creating an ecosystem around you. Mm-hmm. Like I always tell people, like you are yourself a network. You have your talents, you have your skills, you have your interests, your hobbies, and then you're able to bring it down into a system, which then is how you translate and work with people. Like that's kind of why I love my work, because it's like, yes, I could do the work that I'm doing with like the podcasts and all these like collaborations and events, but music is still the thing that kind of is the loop, you know, the through line, focus. You know, and I think that's where I tell people, and you said as well, it's the age of the generalist, right? We have to be able to see that we can get money from other sources, and it should not be dependent on our craft or our art. Yeah. It should be, how can it supplement it and make it fun?
Like a baby, you gotta feed it, take care of it, let it grow.
Yeah, 100%, nurture it, like do it justice. And I think that's, again, hard for a lot of people to be able to trust themselves, that they have it in them to do other things outside of what we've been shown.
You also have to be realistic with yourself. If you're not that good, don't think that you're gonna be that guy.
I mean that is very, very real.
I've also been fighting for like 18 years, and like I'm just like a hobbyist, but I've been doing jujitsu and wrestling and Muay Thai and stuff like that.
You're not a hobbyist.
I mean, I don't try to do it to make money because I don't want CTE and I don't want to like break all my bones. Right now, I have like a torn ACL. Like, it's just a rough game. And I've known so many people who wanted to go pro, or, like said that to my face, and they can't even get past me. So it's just like you really have to be real with yourself.
Yeah. And do you feel like people do that as a way of hyping them? Like, is it general delulu or?
I think we live in a world where like snake oil gets you there. Ooh. So like you don't really have to be that guy to pretend to be that guy. I think pretending is good enough, but in certain fields, like truth shows. Like, if you're not that guy, you'll get kicked off 100%. The platform.
It's the longevity of it is not there. The shelf life of it, really. Yeah. No, I mean, I also think there's an element balancing, right? This idea of you got to fake it until you make it, but more in the sense of like you have to live in that future state. Right, but that also requires, as you said, people need to do the growth to get to that, rather than just saying I'm flat out like this.
Yeah.
But I also think it also happens with like the shift that needs to happen at the top, because the top is what accepts mediocrity, right? They accept the mediocre talent because they have a certain amount of followers, or they just run their mouth.
Also, our tastes, where we think that's as good as it gets. If we don't know better, if we don't see better, we'll never know. Taste. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like.
Yeah, I think something that's just crazy in general is the fact that, like, we don't have taste. So it's really hard to, like, in general figure that out, because our taste has been so curated to a point where it's because it's trends. And now they're mad because they're like, everybody sounds the same. Everyone dresses the same. And I was like, first off, not me, bitch. But second of all, like, it's the fact that people are... wait. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I was like, I didn't do laundry. But it's like, again, this idea that in order to be authentic or to be true, like you have to step out of your comfort zone and actually have critical thinking skills or pay attention to life.
You have to pay attention. Okay, my best friend who's like an amazing producer, I feel like he produces technically really well, but like what he's lacking is he doesn't take things in. So you kind of have to pay attention. You have to care about what other people care about versus just like caring about what you have to say. Because if you're not saying what people care, not showing them, if you don't care about them, they're not going to care about you.
Yeah. And so I guess talk about that in the sense of music. Like how's that shown? Like, is it that he doesn't take feedback, or is it more like, no offense to his friend, but more in the general scheme?
Okay, one of my biggest tests as a musician, I've dated a lot of black girls, and it's like they know everything. They know who's who and what's what, and like you kind of if you listen to R&B and you know what everybody's listening to, like you'll be more in the element.
So I mean, it's just the fact that we're black. It's like just being black. There you go. So basically, just being black, being in the gut. Well, because in general, I mean, it does make sense, right? Like, black people do dictate culture, right? It's the undercurrent that just happens to be packaged up in a white box.
Branded and sold to fit the masses versus what's actually happening now and what people care about and are listening to.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's unfortunate, but I also think that's, again, where it really matters that we band together, right? And, like, we actually hype each other up, because who's going to do that? It's this weird thing that there's no one in the middle, like there's either the ones that really made it or the ones that are like in the cut, they're trying to get it. Like, I guess it's interesting. I think when I think about like social media, right, it's like the idea of the people under 10K and then the people who are like over 100K, right? It's like, but there's people in the middle. And then what I find is that these people in the middle are the ones that are like I had to go hard to get this, so I'm not helping you out, which is like not helping kind of give an arm to the people below. I guess, have you ever kind of experienced an equivalent of that, of like, people, like you've had friends, right, that have been in the game for so long, but,
Gatekeeping?
Gatekeeping
is very real.
Yeah, tell me about that and like kind of your thoughts on it.
We are very isolated in this world, aren't we? Like,
are we really?
There's so many of us, and like it's a weird thing. Like, we are all connected with our phones, and yet somehow we're all isolated. It's like these connections are not
authentic.
Exactly. So like, who's actually going to carry you?
Yeah.
You kind of have to carve your own path a lot of the times, but you can't do it by yourself. So you have to like build authentic relationships with people. You have to be real if you want something real.
Yeah, and so I guess what are some things that's worked for you? Like I think something that I know is following up with people, like genuinely, like being like checking in on them. How do you kind of like build that path for yourself?
I kind of just frequent the same spaces and see the same faces, and then that way we just get really familiar with each other.
I like that rather than trying to be everywhere all at once. Mm-hmm. Consistency and cadence is your recommendation.
That's a good way to put it.
It's my job. Wordsmith. Amazing. I guess, what are some exciting projects that you're working on? Or do you have anything slated for the rest of the year? And
well, you're saying you're trying to do a mix a month. I'm trying to do a mix a day.
Damn.
I have enough content.
I can do a beat a day. That's it.
A beat a day.
A beat is like, for me, I'm able to just like take inspiration and produce something. It's just produce a track. I just then find something. Logic Pro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nothing's fancy. I'm very much the bare minimum. I have so many unreleased tracks, but sure. I know that there will be a time and a place when it all drops, and I am working with vocalists now.
Oh, nice.
I've sent that over to them, so they are doing that. But for me, making music is so like douche, because I use my whatever I heard throughout the day, or a little kick from a song I heard that I really like. I write down lyrics too that hit. What was the one for today? It was "Killing Me Softly." I was listening to that song and I was like, oh, I like that. So again, that's where I get inspiration. So
yeah, you were saying you're gonna throw coffee kinds of parties. That's a great space for like what you were saying, things that are not electronic.
Yeah,
like that's a calmer space for things that are not like.
No, exactly.
I love sober parties. Like I'm not trying to like go too hard. I'm an old man right now.
I can't do
32 is old, right? Shit. So yeah, I can't be doing what I used to.
I also, it's not even that. It's just I had stayed up until maybe 11, and I was like, fuck. And I do get up early. I have to get up early. But yeah, no, actually, I really like that you said that, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm putting a beat workshop together for people.
Cool.
Have you ever seen? There's this one series I've seen online where it's a beat competition. So somebody will drop a 4-bar, and then one person would then have to add on to the next 4, then add on, and then they do like a competition to see. But nice. Yeah, it's like, again, I am all about getting people together, because there's just something energetically where our minds just click, and then it's just magic. Like, it's so beautiful. And we have an event on Monday. I'm so excited. Thank you again.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically it is a open deck, right? You want to explain to people what the concept of open decks is, because I love it and I didn't know until I went to one.
An open decks is a great way to get like very musically focused people all in one space. It's like we get to vie for positions to play slots and then play whatever we're playing at that time. Yeah. And it's like a lottery system?
The lottery system, hopefully.
Yeah, how do you want to do it? Because some people do it. No,
mine is the lottery. Yes, the one that we're doing is a lottery system. 100%. So basically the plan is that people have already submitted who wanted to do it. I'm going to draw the names. Since there are only going to be around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 spots, I'm going to draw 5 people. Okay, and then I'm going to just confirm with those 5 people if they're set with that time. And then on the day of, I'll open up last 2 slots for people.
How long are your slot times?
20.
20 minutes is a great amount of time.
Yeah, 20
I think
minutes.
That works.
Yeah, so I'm just really excited. So basically a little bit about the inspiration behind all of it. So basically, I have this event series. It's called Recess After Dark, and it's just again helping people reconnect back to their inner child. I think that has been the most pivotal connection point for me in my journey over the last 1.5 years, and being able to tap back into the joy and whimsical side of me is how my life becomes beautiful. Like, I think that's honestly how everyone's life it should be, or hopefully is, right? It's the more joy and pleasure and happiness that you're in while also being able to get the shit done that you want to get done. Like, I just feel like it elevates my mood. It elevates everyone else around me. And I find that we always forget about that side of us when life gets a little hard. You know, I think that we don't really have a lot of outlets where we can just say, we can just be ourselves, you know? It's always coming and trying to put on a face, or it's coming and having to be prepared for something or to meet people. It's like a different type of networking event or professional development way. But in essence, it's, again, helping people feel comfortable, opening back up by playing these games, like the little childhood games, or just, again, curating events where people can just tap back into that side of them and hopefully dissolve, you know, boundaries around intimacy and like, you know, genuinely showing who you are. And I find that with Open Decks, it was the first time where it's an amazing networking way. You know, I was shocked. Like, I was like, wait, you guys are actually cool. Like, especially being a woman, right? And I think being a Black woman too, it's like you go into these spaces where it's predominantly not people who look like you. And again, it's going back to the idea that I have to, you know, I was kind of bracing myself and I was completely amazed. And it was amazing because, like, you guys were the first group of people who I met that got me out of my shell. And helped me like tap back into like my fun side, and to do that through music was so beautiful. So thank you. So yeah, it's like one of those things, and I found that it was doing it as the first event is loosening everybody up, and I want it to be kind of like an event series where it's, you know, we have Open Decks, establishing cadence and consistency. So it's like Open Decks, and then Tuesday's co-working, and then Wednesday is the like music club, or again playing competitions. I think I can make it competitions. More to come. But it's like these different event series and stuff. And so I really appreciate your help kind of helping me do this.
For sure.
And I'd love to do more with you, like having them more frequently too.
I'd love to too. I love your idea of like having community focused on not drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. These kinds of parties. It's a great way to meet each other. Yeah, I did like I have a friend who's like focused on throwing parties that don't revolve around alcohol. He did like a pizza shop party. Like you're talking about the coffee shop. I went to a chai party the other day. I played at an ice cream shop with my friends. That was fun. And I'm thinking, you asked me if I was thinking of throwing any parties. I'm planning on throwing a party at a flower shop soon.
Wait, bitch. That's crazy. Oh my God, we got to talk because I need to, that's a dream of mine. I've been wanting to do that, and I haven't found a flower shop yet that we can do that. So let me know.
Have a florist. And she was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Hey.
But it's in Jersey, so Jersey gang, pull up.
Does she commute? If I bring her to a place. No, it's okay though. I know, I appreciate that though. That's really dope. Like, what kind of got you inspired to do the flower?
I've been gardening hardcore.
Oh, you've been telling me.
I've been gardening hardcore for like 3-4 years. I would say I'm in my senior year of gardening.
Senior year.
Hard.
Damn. Any tips for a freshman?
Start with seeds. Seeds are a great way to like just have tons of plants, really cheap. Just go to like Lowe's or something, get a bag.
I've seen them on TikTok.
Whatever. Yeah,
like, just a bunch of the like starter packs.
For sure, that's a great way because I started buying with like trees and fully grown plants, and you're gonna break the bank doing that.
Nah, never mind. The bank is already half broken. I need to stop saying that. It's not. She's full, overflowing. Overflowing. She thriving.
I like going to farms. I like collecting rare trees and stuff like that. I like seeing what's out there.
Were you a kid that like collected rocks?
Oh yes, you know it. Digging holes, collecting rocks.
We got holes here. Move over, Shia LaBeouf. So it's this idea again of just building community, but doing it and also supporting these businesses. Yes, you know,
for sure, exactly.
That's what I love is like being able to work with them to help them outside of just a bar and a restaurant, right? And I think
great
the
publicity.
Coffee shop, great publicity, but also like, I don't know. It's just, I think about music, right? Where do you listen to music? Every fucking
everywhere,
place.
Yeah.
So why can it not be everywhere as well?
Exactly. And yeah, a party at a flower shop, that sounds super lit. I don't know what else we should like offer there.
I know. Now I'm thinking. We should do it at a. No, I'm gonna have to sit with it. My creative brain right now is like.
I was also thinking of throwing a party at a rock climbing.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Nah, it'd
you
be
gotta
like
close off.
Yeah. Wait, my ass would be like, douche. And then that's the bass drop. That was a drop. Oh man, no, that'd be fun. No, I mean that's the whole thing about the series I'm building out is like I really want it to be at unique places, you know. And I think, yes, I want to be able to still support bars and restaurants, but like cafes, vintage stores. Like, could it be a runway show with
thrift shops?
Yeah, exactly. It's again like I think that's one thing, and also again establishing the cadence of every Tuesday, like, this is what happens. Like, that's what I really liked about some of the, like, open deck series over the summer. It's like you knew a silo, right?
Yeah, that's every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, and you knew that that's who you're going to see. You know, if you get the chance to play, I don't know.
I played the last 9 weeks in a row. I don't know what's going on.
I went 3 times in a row, and I heard 0. I said, damn. I thought women get double the chance. What the fuck?
those Flinta parties.
Unbelievable. But yeah, anyways, no beef, Silo. I'll eventually get off of one of those lists and gotta talk to strangers. But anyways, but yeah, no, I like it. I think that this event's gonna be really fun. So basically, in this event too, right? I went. It's so cute. I'll add pictures and stuff. It's small as fuck, but you know what? I like it because it's a downstairs one. Okay. Yeah, so it's off to the side. So it's cute. We got face painting from Vargas and Sons. And so they're going to do face painting for the first 2 hours there. But yeah, face painting, and then we're going to be doing a little arts and crafts, hot chocolate, and there's a whole photo booth. So people can get their lovely pictures taken. And I will be getting a big piece of paper so people can write their eulogy because it is Scorpio season. And Scorpio season, for those that do not know, is all about death and rebirth. So if you feel like absolute shit right now, welcome to the life of a fucking Scorpio. This constant transformation. It's like I am a different person at the end of the day. Every day I'm a whole new version of me, but that comes with being a Scorpio. It comes with this idea that life is what it is, and it's up to us to make it however we want to make it. Like, we actually have so much power and control over our lives, and I'm trying to instill that in people. But there's also the thing where there's a give and a take. So there's this idea that we can never really be in our comfort zone because we can't evolve in our comfort zone. We have to shed and die and release parts of ourselves. And that is what this event is. You write out a version of you that you want to release, no longer bring with you, and then you go to the dance floor and you dance your ass off. That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good. That's alchemy in motion.
Sounds like my garden.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean by your garden?
My garden teaches me everything. Life and death right there.
Oh my God.
The new comes, you lose half your plants sometimes. Just like that. The seasons come and go. You get to watch everything happen.
Exactly, and it's harvest, right? Right. You're taking all of it, right?
I don't really plant plants that I harvest. I just got flowers. Just watch the flowers grow. Or like in the beginning of the spring, you see all the birds being born, and then you see all the birds on the floor.
Yeah.
Seasons are like that. Like there's ups and downs, and like the story of life all just plays out right in front of you.
That is and it's at your own hands, but also not really at your own hands. You only play half that part, right?
At the mercy of nature.
And Mother Nature. Amazing. Well, anything else that you would like to tell our lovely viewers? So the event will be on Monday, November 3rd from 7 to 10 downstairs at the Purgatory. Purgatory. That's a hard-ass word for me to say.
See you there.
Ooh.